Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Bassard Arena in Zug, Switzerland for our continuing coverage of the 2015 ISBHF World Ball Hockey Championships. Hashtag the real deal. My name is Steve Power. It is my ultimate pleasure and privilege to be joined by a man of honor. No lies, no deceit. George Gortzos, president of the International Street and Ball Hockey Federation. Going to do color for part of this game until he goes see who's in the concert out in the parking lot, I guess.
Well, I'm just trying to get my heart together after those last two games. My goodness, Steve.
So what a start to the playoff day here in the A pool. We've got overtime. We've got a shootout. We've got extra shooters. And then over on the B side, the same thing and overtime.
That's right. And right now, Italy and Switzerland are looking earn the right to play the red, white, and blue of the USA.
I don't know what kind of prize that is from the way I've seen the Americans play this week, but the one thing is for certain, you don't know what's going to happen here this week till the ball drops.
No, and you know what? What a great effort by Team India against Finland. Two great teams, and you know, the Finns winning on a shootout, you know, that means a lot for their program. But India came here and played with class all week.
So we've got Italy in white taking on the host nation Swiss in black. Winner of this one moves on to play the USA tomorrow. Don't forget, folks, join with us on Twitter. If you happen to be watching, you can check me out at StevePowerNL. If you want to give a shout out or a general comment, we'll get it on the air for you. First minute of play of this one. Italy puts the ball down deep. Pass comes out. Italian player tends around, spins, fires. Can't quite get there, and now it's a chance for the Swiss to clear. Great forecheck here by Italy, George.
That's it, and today the Swiss need to play a full game.
Stuckey makes the pass, and the return pass back for Stuckey. He broke another way. Offside's the call. That's going to come all the way back.
And you're right, Steve. Italy started really well, really strong. And, you know, historically, Italy is one of the nations, besides the Czech Republic, Canada, and Slovakia, to win a medal. They won a medal in Pittsburgh, 2005. So they got a little bit of pedigree.
I didn't realize they played ball hockey in Pittsburgh. Face-off is going to be to the right of Swiss goaltender Pascal Mellinger. Ball comes out, going to go all the way down, and flooring will be the call.
And you see Coach Mish Ustini, ex-Team Canada player, has gone right into a 2-3 zone, showing respect to the Swiss speed. I'm wondering if young Mers, I don't see Mers out in the warm-up, and he may not be dressed today, which is going to be a significant loss for Switzerland.
Absolutely. Number 89, Patrick Mers. Very, very speedy. Here come the Swiss now on the attack. And it must be me, George, calling these games all week. I'm having trouble with the Italian numbers, so if you know a name, feel free to shout it out to me.
No problem.
Switzerland. Down the corner is Stuckey. Stuckey moves the ball up the wall, going to come back to the point. That shot gets blocked by Italy. Number 8 of Italy, Matthew Bernardo. Ball goes out of play. We'll have a face-off inside. Pascal Mellinger getting a call between the pipes for the Swiss. No big surprise there. I know earlier in the week against the Czechs, Mellinger was out of his mind playing in the net. He was unbelievable. Yesterday, pretty good, but I got to say, the last 7-8 minutes of the third period sort of got to him a little, and I'm sure the Swiss are going to look for the big guy to bounce back in a big way.
Yeah, they need him to play a full game, and they need a big start. These are the young guys of Italy that have been leading their offense here, their big line here.
It's Perugini. David Perugini now on the wall. Fights for it down low. Perugini down below the goal line. Looking to get it to Sitachi. Sitachi in front of the net. Ball rolls off his stick. Sitachi turns, shoots. That one just misses, and you are indeed, this is the number 1 unit for Team Italy. Here's Sitachi on the backhand. Shoots, scores! Number 28 for the Italians, Alberto Fiore, diving into the slot, and this crowd of over 2,000 fans is stunned. Italy opens scoring, 2:30 in.
Well, young Satachi, he's a very skilled player, and you know, the Italian spirit is showing here. They're coming here to play ball, and that's a great start for them. That line there has been dangerous in the B pool, and here they are striking in this pre-qualification match to get to the quarters and play the USA.
So, just goes to show you, George, these teams coming up from the B pool, and I know we're only 2.5 minutes into this one, but judging on the other game, the quality of nations. I mean, the teams that didn't make the playoffs, and I'll be honest, with the exception of Bermuda, Pakistan in the other pool, they were right there.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Every team, they were there. Bermuda, yeah, they were a little outclassed this year, but these teams, I'm very, very impressed with the quality overall here. Italy knifed the ball into the zone, gives an attack by Michael Cardinali. Oh, and Cardinali just took a big slash from the Swiss defenseman there. I'm surprised that one wasn't called. Swiss on the attack now. Ball dumped in, out front. Here's a shot right on. That one just goes to the side. Switzerland, sense of urgency in them right now. They are not going to wait till later on. They want to come back immediately. Ball comes all the way down the floor. Mellinger going to leave it behind the net for his defenseman. Mermoud. Here's Mueller now. Mueller back for Mermoud.
You see how the Italians are packing the neutral zone here. They're going to play a really defensive kind of strategic game here. Take the running away from the Swiss.
Mueller, long pass. That one eludes the stick of Sterchi, and that's going to be flooring. Face-off going to come back to the right of Mellinger.
And Coach Justini and Nat Capalbo have a game plan, and here they are, Steve, throwing out their big line in an offensive face-off. And these guys are going to have to generate for them.
Almost 4 minutes into the period, Italy ahead 1-0 over Switzerland. Qualification game, winner moves on to play the United States. Satachi on the wall, puts the ball down low for Perugini. Perugini for Fiore. Fiore had Satachi in front of net, couldn't get it there. Now away come Team Switzerland. Here's Metros. Metros throws one to the net and going hard to the net. Swiss player, fans looking for a penalty, but what they're going to get is a face-off outside as a crease violation called by the officials.
Using an educated understanding of their teams, Justini and Capalbo seem to have a hybrid system going. One for their big line, and their other more veteran lines are sitting back a little bit, and that's just smart use of your people.
I'll bow to your wisdom there with knowledge of the Italian team, George. The only knowledge I have is, do I want linguine or spaghetti? That's all I've got.
Well, they're going to give you a further education right now.
Team Italy looking very good here early on. Switzerland on the attack. Here's a shot to the net, rebound there, and the Italian goalie, George, who's that starting?
I think that's DiNardo.
John DiNardo, number 30, yes.
We got to check, but I believe that's who it is.
All right. Switzerland, cross-floor pass out into the zone. That's Kierner. Kierner. That's a name I haven't said much this week. Mauro Kiernos, the Swiss coach, getting his bench into this game early, and that's a good move at this stage of the week, George, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Well, and especially with Mers out of the lineup, he may have had to do some tinkering.
So the fans get into it now, and DiNardo, you are correct. John DiNardo drops down and covers that one up. And the sixth man, known as these Swiss fans, trying to get in and get their Swiss team on the board. 5:16 into the first period. Italy leads 1-0.
And let's see if Alessio Fiena can get going. They got Fuchs moving up here, but Fiena is somebody who's got to get scoring here for the Swiss.
Italy settles things down. Massimo Vitali behind the net. Here's Vitali. He's got some players going in the neutral zone. Vitali's going to hold it on. Fakes a pass. Switzerland, no intentions of forechecking whatsoever. And for a Canadian guy like me, that's strange to see.
The Italians will play this static game. This is inviting right where they want this game to be. More of a half-court game, which suits their tough veteran lineup.
Fans getting on the Italian defenseman, Vitali. I'd be the other way. I'd be getting on the Swiss forwards for not moving them. Here's Vitali. Moves the ball up the wall. Chance now for Italy. They knife the ball into Switzerland territory. Swiss player leaves it for Fuchs. Here's Fuchs. Fuchs, long lead pass. That's going to miss everyone. All the way down for Flooring. And we saw this yesterday and the day before with the Swiss team. Great if you've got the speedsters. It'll put that long bomb out there every now and then. But it's almost like they're going to it too much, George.
Well, and you know what? Hats off. You're right, Steve. But hats off to the preparation of the coaches of Italy. They got this team really well prepared. They studied their prey here. And right now they're in a good slot. And the Swiss haven't found their pace yet.
Schneidkilt behind the net. Moves the ball for Mellinger. High lob pass into the neutral zone. Drops in, almost picked up there by Sterchi. Ball comes up now. Here comes Satachi. Satachi into the middle. Nice move there by number 91, Satachi. Can't come away with it. Here's Mirmood. Mirmood, he loses it. Backhand pass by Sterchi. Shot, that's blocked. Italy's got a chance to come away with some numbers here. Here's Satachi. Satachi. Pass for Fiore and a nice defensive play there. And the hometown fans showing their appreciation of a solid defensive play. Sterchi puts the ball deep. Stuckey's going to go in and give chase. Ball deflected up into the net area. Approaching the halfway point of the first period. Italy won, Switzerland no score.
And with Mers out, Stuckey is going to have to, young Mueller, Stuckey, these guys are going to really have to come to the forefront and get some running on this Italian defense today.
From the draw, Italy will lay a long shot in.
Tomasiccio, who's got a cannon.
Here comes the Swiss. DiNardo has a little difficulty handling that one behind the net. Swiss forecheckers pick it up. Ball out in the neutral zone. Mueller shot. That's deflected in the high slot. Swiss players looking to get a stick on it. Stuckey down low. He can't pick it up. Italian player can't get it out. DiNardo has to be careful with that one. Jumps down and covers it up for the Italians.
And up to now, both teams are playing very disciplined, Steve. It's been, there hasn't been any infractions. Both teams know what a big prize they're playing for to be in the final 8. So everybody is giving the extra effort here.
Face-off going to be to the right of DiNardo. Both teams at even strength. You mentioned no infractions. The last game, only 2 or 3 minor penalties. Very, very, couple of coincidental ones, but very, very tame, but yet tough in nature. Switzerland, they turn the ball over now. Away comes Giordano. Ball goes into Swiss territory. Dali moves it up the wall. Switzerland now have some speed in the neutral zone, but a great job by the Italian. It's the defenseman there, shot out front, big save there by DiNardo. Off the stick of Mark Argater. And Argater looks skyward after that save as Johnny DiNardo says, not today, Mr. Argater.
And Steve, this is essentially the bulwark of the team in Italy that went to the B-Pool final and lost to Bermuda. So they've worked hard, got up here in the A-Pool and see if they can finish in the final 8. Big save by Johnny DiNardo there.
Swiss sending 4 players up off the face-off. Here's a chance from right off the draw. Shot just goes wide. And I tell you, George, if the Swiss can advance in this tournament, I'm wondering how I'm going to call these games. There's people everywhere here. This place is going to be jammed.
Well, yeah, I think the Italians want to do something totally different, Steve.
Here's Satachi. Satachi lays one to the net. Perugini gives chase as well. Chance for Swiss to come out. Good forecheck by this big Italian line. Satachi moves the ball to his defenseman.
Yeah, they got the green light to forecheck this line. This is the only one, and they're got a good tandem here.
Fiore puts it across. Perugini couldn't get it. Ball comes out into the neutral zone. Chipped out of play. Face off will be just outside the Italian blue line. 6:01 left to play in this first period. Team Italy won. Team Switzerland, no score.
Well, we just got a few minutes left, and Switzerland's got to pick it up here.
From the draw, Schnabelt has a little trouble with that one. Ball gets knocked all the way down deep, and Mermoud is going to pick it up for Switzerland. Fans try to get behind the Swiss team. Heinen up into the neutral zone. Ball goes all the way in Italian territory. No flooring indicated. The chase is on. Here's Schnabelt. Schnabelt, nice steal there. Chance in front for the Swiss. Schnabelt, tenacious on that ball. Ball goes safely to the corner. Team Italy gonna lift that one high, out of play. Face-off will stay inside.
Coach Tibor Kabanek is gonna have to figure out that neutral zone. Looks like for people that live in big cities and those of us in Toronto, that looks like the DVP at rush hour. There's a lot of bodies in the neutral zone, Steve, and the Swiss are gonna have to fight their way through that.
Speaking of Toronto, George, looking ahead to a matchup tomorrow. What's that place gonna be like when Portugal tangles with Italy?
Well,
I know a lot of Portuguese neighborhoods, and I believe it's the Danforth is the big, sorry, not Portugal, Italy, Portugal, Greece.
yeah.
The Greek area of the Danforth in Toronto. A lot of those guys from there, and I'd love to be there tomorrow watching that one.
Yeah, it could be on over in the Portuguese area and the Greek area.
So we've got Leonard Biersdorfer checking in, saying, Steve, cheer for the Swiss and say, Hops Feast. I tell you what, Leonard, if I am saying your name correctly, I wouldn't mind at all being down with those Swiss fans, having a beverage or two, and I would certainly cheer Hops Feast. We got a buzzer here at the 10-minute mark, and what it was from the last game, the overtime, the minor officials had the clock set for overtime. So just a mistake there. Fans not liking it at all.
And I don't blame
No big deal there, though. I mean, the ball was in the corner. It wasn't like there was a scoring chance. They just dropped the ball inside. Do it again. If that's the worst thing happens here today, we're all doing okay.
Well, I don't think the Swiss fans are too happy about that, Steve.
They'll get over it. Come on. It's hockey.
We'll see.
Allegiator checking in, saying, go Team Italia, especially Alberto Fiore. And she's watching all the way from Boston, Massachusetts. So thanks for tuning in.
Well, Fiore, part of that big line, that's the offensive generator for Italy. And Johnny DiNardo looks sharp in net. The veteran who's logged so many games in ball hockey, and he looks like he's ready to go.
Referee's now going over, make sure the clock is set the right way. Might have thought about doing that first, big fella. Face-off's going to be at center, neutral face-off location whenever something like that happens. And away we go. Stali. And there you go, no harm, no foul. Ball's right back into Italian territory.
Exact same spot.
Argater behind the net. Argater got Roethlisberger in front. He's tapping his stick. He wants it. Here's Argater. Tries to wrap around. There was a little bit of daylight there, but DiNardo managed to get down and squeeze the wickets. Switzerland starting to warm up a little, George.
Well, they got to put the forecheck on the Italian D. They're stout defenders, but there isn't speed demons back there, but they're really stout guys, really strong, and they're going to have to put the forecheck on them. And I can't say it enough, Steve. You got your leading scorer in your league. I don't even know if Vienna scored a goal yet.
Wouldn't be able to tell you, George. I haven't called his name very much. Yesterday, he showed flashes, though. He really did. I thought he started to come out a little, but once again, with a guy like Mears out the lineup, they need him to step up, there's no doubt. Italians over the line. There's a shot right on. Rebound off the crossbar. Satachi just nailed one off the crossbar there, and that would have certainly shocked this big crowd. I'd say we're well over 3,500 here now, George, with this crowd, because they're still filing in.
Well,
maybe the band stopped playing.
Welcome to the big-time ball hockey, Satachi. Good young player, really sharp, and you know what? He's an offensive weapon out there. You can tell he's got skill just coming out of his pores, and he ripped that shot. But that was started by Fiore. It's a good line.
Face-off is going to be to the left of Mellinger. And this line certainly testing Pascal Mellinger here in this first period.
You know, all the offensive chances for both teams have been generated by these three.
From the draw, Italy deflects that one. That goes high. Mellinger lost that one in his sights for a second. Say it deflected off a Swiss stick. So the face-off is going to stay inside. From the draw, Satachi. Not only can he shoot, George, he can take face-offs too.
Sure can.
The Italians put a press on, but a nice little breakout pass there by the Swiss. Long shot there by Heinen. And I tell you what, I don't know if DiNardo misplayed it, but that almost went in, George.
May add a little bit of Bert Blyleven curveball action on that one there.
Yeah, a little bit of spit from the cap or something there.
Yeah.
So, Italy dodge a bullet there. Face-off will be in their own territory. From the draw, one by the Swiss. Back for the point, Bassard fires. That one gets deflected and out of harm's way for the Italians. Italy settling things down now. Antonelli. He's coming out slowly. The Swiss not in any hurry. And the fans on the Italians once again. Team Italy up to the blue line, gain the zone. Ball rolls off the player's stick, and Bossard is going to pick it up for Switzerland. Here's Bossard. Watch out for the forecheck of Tomasiccio. Ball into the neutral zone. Here's a shot right on. Big rebound, Swiss. What a save there. Holy cheese and crackers. What a save by John DiNardo, George Gortzos.
Johnny DiNardo looks like he's on a mission today. That's no doubt about it.
My goodness, on the first shot, a great save. And then on the rebound, not quite sure how he might have got to that one. But what a save there to keep the Swiss off the board.
And again, some young players that are coming to the forefront. Number 49, Antonielli, really playing with a lot of poise. No forecheck, he's just handling the ball cool as a cucumber. If the Swiss aren't going to press, the Italians will take the time.
Stali goes all the way back. The Italians are going to forecheck. Stali tries to spin away from the check of Scarito. Scarito still up there. Roethlisberger now. Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to look up the fourth. The Italians sending two men on the forecheck. Switzerland. Ergeter down below the goal line. Here's Ergeter. Ergeter. He has some trouble. Teammate comes in to help him out. Switzerland below the goal line. Ball back for Fuchs. Fuchs tries to get it. He can't get it through. Fuchs takes it himself down low. Cross, seam pass. Doesn't get through. And the Italians going to hammer the ball the other way. And I think we've got our first penalty of the game. A holding the stick infraction. Going to go against Italy. I think it's going to be Tomasiccio.
No, that's Captain Mike Farrelly.
Mike Farrelly going to go to the box for holding the stick with a minute. 2:17 left to go, boys. My eyes are going.
That's okay. I got a little bit of education sent here from one of the great world champions from Canada, Sheffy Platt. The goalie says, toughest shot in ball hockey, coach, is from the offside dot. So there you go, Steve. I know how you love goalies.
You know something? You know how I love my guy on the offside dot, too. But most players, they get outside of there. They go too far. And that extra 3-4 feet you might go to the boards from the dot, it just gives that goalie the extra bit of time. I'm sure Chevy would agree with that. Here's a drive from the point. Shoot, scores! Yves Stuckey, and you called his name earlier, George, as a big factor. And the Swiss waste no time on the power play. Stuckey with the drive from the point. It's 1-1.
And we got to give an assist to Alessio Fiana on that one, so that may be a good sign too. But that was an absolute rocket.
DiNardo had no chance on that.
That was good morning, good night, goodbye.
So, final minutes of this first period, and the Swiss do what they needed to do. They get back in it. Team Italy coming right back with the big line, hoping to stop this momentum. Here's Fiana. Fiana puts it down low. Swiss now on the attack one more time. Fiana fights for the ball along the wall, can't come away with it. Adriano Ficcioni down low. Swiss, Heinze battling for Mueller. Here's Mueller. Mueller for Fiana. Fiana, he takes a bump on the board. Fiana keeps it. Mueller has it out front. Mueller back for Fuchs on the point. Fuchs fakes the shot. Fuchs is going to take it down low himself. Out into the slot. Wow, I can't keep up here. Heinze has the ball on the wall, down for Fuchs. Team Italy are going to need to clear this one out. They're in some duress here now. Ball comes up to the half boards, and Italy does indeed get it out. And here's Satachi. Satachi, winds, fires, shot right on. Mellinger had to be careful with that one. Last minute of play of the period. Pascal Mellinger with a nice save there. Not getting a lot of work lately, but equal to the task. Here's the pass for the Swiss, sent in alone. Great defensive play there by the Italian defenseman Anthony Contento. Swiss out front. Roethlisberger don't have it. Here's a shot. 33 just missed, just wide. Stuckey behind the net. Sterchi, and he tried to wrap around a 10. Sterchi with a couple of quality scoring chances there. 18 seconds left to go in this first period, and the action's certainly heating up. Do both teams want it this wide open, George?
Well, the Swiss probably do, but not the Italians. But the crowd is definitely getting into it. Steve, what do you think? We got a good 2,500, 3,000?
Oh no, you're starting to creep up to 4 now. We're over 3,000 for sure. No lies, no deceit. That's a fact.
Well, there you go. You heard it from Stevie right there. The truth and nothing but.
Dying seconds of this first period, Italy finally clears the zone. Chance for a long shot, and that'll do it. First period of play coming to an end. Pretty good action there. Team Switzerland tied up late. It's Switzerland 1, Italy 1. We'll be back for the call of the second period. Back for the call of this second period. Team Switzerland 1, Team Italy 1. All tied up. Had a little visit here up in the booth. The real Geronimo come up and visit myself and my partner in crime here tonight, George Gortzos, a real passionate young man about ball hockey, and mentioned he was really enjoying our coverage. A lot of people out there watching it, so
he
I want to publicly say that I really appreciate that. It's great to hear good feedback. Now that being said, here's a shot. Wow, I'm going off on a tangent, and the Swiss score. Johnny DiNardo never had a chance on that one, George. A wrist shot from the point was deflected about 10 feet out in front of him. Just bounced between his legs.
Well, a great start for Switzerland, but just to finish that thought, Steve, I thought it was neat that young Livio came up, a great young B-pool player in Switzerland, a top scorer, and he said that you're a legend in Europe. Steve, how do you feel about that? A young boy just from Newfoundland. You're a legend.
I'm a legend in my own mind half the time, George.
There's somebody somewhere in Switzerland, somebody's having chocolate thinking you're a legend, Stevie.
They do drink a lot over here, apparently, though.
Oh, they do. Yes, they do.
So I don't. Anyway, real nice of that young man to come up and talk, and he impressed you with his passion for ball hockey, for sure. And you can just tell He said it was the first game he could attend all week. He's a student studying, but he had the game on in the library.
Was I coaching him, Steve?
Were you coaching him?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you were. Absolutely. You were trying to help the guy out. So, first minute of this second period, and Switzerland shocked the Italians with a very, very quick strike. Play gets stopped down low as the Swiss defenseman falls on the ball. And we hear the announcement on the goal, and who is it? Gets the goal, but the much maligned Alessio Faiana. He gets the deflection on the point shot, and Faiana dents the twine.
That's 2
for
points.
the Swiss.
2 points for him.
And Geronimo checking him right away, saying, as we were talking about Faiana, get in, he says. So
we'll see now if the Italians will change their approach a little bit and maybe attack a little bit more. Certainly, there's still 29 playing minutes left in this game, and they're in no hurry, but we'll see what Coach Giustini and Nat Capalbo do. They've certainly been around ball hockey a long time and know what they're going to be doing here in this next little bit.
Shot right on goal from the draw by the Italian defenseman, Antoniali. Nice shot there. Mellinger had to be careful with that one. Italy now. Possession. Down low. Bernardo puts it behind the net for Scarito. Here's Scarito. Scarito puts the ball out high. Taken by Giordano. Giordano out in front. Bernardo shot right on. And Mellinger stuffs that one to the side.
Great work by the Italians there. They really worked that forecheck well, Steve.
Here's a chance for Satachi in on the breakaway. And Mellinger stops the pad. And Satachi, easily the most dangerous Italian player so far this game, denied by the pad of Mellinger. Here come the Italians once again over the blue line, threatening. Perugini down below. Perugini looks for Satachi on the side. Stuckey's gonna fire that one up into the stands, and Italy almost answer right away.
Yeah, forget this game, Steve. That young kid's got offense coming out of his pores. The Swiss coaches better make sure they know where that kid is, because every time he's been on the floor, he's been dangerous.
Team Italy now on the forecheck, trying to answer back right away. And Mellinger's had to be sharp here in the early parts of this second period. Satachi almost spins out from the corner, almost makes something out of nothing. Ball gets hammered down the floor, but it's deflected. And right away, whoa, Swiss player just took the Italian defenseman into the boards hard. No call on that. Thought for sure there we might see a call. Play continues, ball comes down the floor. Gonna be a flooring call against Italy. And I'm just standing up, George. I don't know if the Italian bench is questioning it or not.
No, but the Swiss came on with a hard forecheck, and that's the game that they need to play. If they play that kind of style, the Italians are going to really have their hands full today.
Hard forecheck, all right. Milan Lucic wouldn't finish a check as hard as that one.
There you go.
So, face-off is going to be in the Italian territory. Faiana hitting the offense. Faiana on the draw. Here's a shot by the Swiss. And away comes Team Italy. Shot held on by Mellinger. He lays it behind the net for Fuchs. Fuchs, he's double teamed by two Italian players down low. Fuchs still comes away with the ball, chips it out to the blue line, and here's Mueller. Nice interception there by Fiacciconi by Italy. Italy puts the ball down low into the corner. Nicola Fuchs for Switzerland. Fuchs down to the goal line and a cross-floor pass for Faiana. Faiana's got Heinze with him. Heinze and Mueller. Faiana just lays one down below the goal line. Mueller grabs it. Faiana comes in. He intercepts. Here's Heinze. Heinze in the slot. Heinze goes down. No call. Referee's doing a good job on that 9 call. Swiss player dives, try to get it out, but Team Italy put it back behind the net, and both teams going to make some changes.
Impressed with number 19 Mueller, the young player. He's really working hard out there, making a difference. Young player making a difference. We've seen a few of those in this tournament, Steve, and it's good to see for our sport.
Coming from the president of the Stevie Alvo fan club, George Gortzos, and as soon as you say that, George, I can't help but think he's the guy that jumps out to me as far as young players, and there's been a lot of them, I know.
You know what? Mueller is right up there, too. He's really been an impressive contributor to the Swiss team.
So, 4:12 into the second period. Switzerland 2, Italy 1. Face-offs outside Swiss blue line. Face-off won by the Swiss. Here's Sterchi. Sterchi for Mueller. Mueller has his pocket pick there. Ball rolls onto the stick of Sterchi. He puts it deep. Heinen down low for Switzerland. Heinen goes down. Ball battled in behind. Nice play there by the Italian defenseman to move it over, but Heinen's going to give chase.
The Swiss are starting to be first on the ball here, Steve.
Here's Heinen. Heinen back to the point. Going to be a shot there. Wrist shot. That gets through. Ball bouncing up in the air. DiNardo didn't see it for a second. And now Johnny DiNardo gets out and covers up. 4:52 into the second period. 2-1 Switzerland.
So what about the B pool matchups in the finals there? Cayman Islands are playing France, I believe. Is it, Steve? I'm trying to remember. And then we got Haiti playing the UK. That's two pretty good games there to fight for gold.
Yeah, I tell you what, I talked to Ali Cree of Team UK today, and they were, no surprise, pretty happy with their big overtime win. And a medal for the UK would be pretty big. That would probably be huge, even bigger than my belly. So, play continues. Italian defenseman, nice little one-touch pass there. Here's Satachi in the neutral zone. And I've noticed already, George, the Swiss not giving Satachi the room he had this period he had in the first.
No, and the Swiss are actually being first to the ball probably 9 times out of 10 right now. And if that continues, it won't augur well for the Italian team.
Fiore throws one to the net, and Mellinger drops down and holds on to that offering. Face-off will be inside Swiss territory.
And UK, I think, won in overtime, as did France, to get to that B pool game. And two pretty exciting matchups in the B pool.
And we didn't expect it to be any different, to be honest. As the week progressed, we all knew it was building up to this day and the days that follow. These teams that are still alive after today are certainly going to be on their toes. And one shout out to most team staff. People don't get talked about very much, George. The training staffs of these teams keeping players in shape and healthy, as the Swiss here put the pressure on Italy in their own end. Most teams here with full staff shot right on. DiNardo's going to drop down and cover it. And most teams do have full training staff, and they're busy.
They do. They're busy. And one player I noticed that you just started mentioning is Mauro Kiener. And he looks like a young player, too, because he's got a full face mask. And I think he's really made a difference out there today, right from the get-go for Switzerland.
So looking ahead here, the winner of this game will play tomorrow at 3:30, I believe it is. So the winner of this game will play the USA at 3:30. While at 1 o'clock.
And the winner of that plays
the winner of Greece and Portugal.
Right, and what that basically means, Steve, is we're going to have, for the first time ever, in a long time since India and Pilsen, a new team playing for the World Championship.
And on the other side in this A pool, Finland, by virtue of their win over India today, they're going to tangle with the Czech Republic tomorrow at, seems to be 5:45, while at 8 o'clock, a real big matchup. Two gargantuans of the ball hockey world. Defending champions Slovakia going to tangle with Team Canada at 8. Big day of ball hockey here at Brossard tomorrow. Not to even mention the B pool in the ladies' games. The ISBHF putting off a fantastic tournament. Best athletes in the world converging on Zug, Switzerland this week. The real deal in ball hockey for sure. Halfway through this second period now. Switzerland, pace of the game slowed down considerably here, George.
Yeah, but the Swiss have the ball 75% of the time right now, and they've really sucked the game away from the Italians.
Swiss now trying to forecheck the Italian defenseman. Nice move there by the Italian defenseman, Vitali, I believe it is.
That was a nice run.
Ball gets moved back to Michael Antoniali. Antoniali. He's going to take the ball back to the safety of his own net. Swiss fans becoming focal again, trying to get behind their Swiss team. Because I tell you what, George, 2-1 is not going to be enough in this one.
Probably not. It's interesting here that the Italians are quite content to let the clock run and not attack.
Second period, I guess.
Time is time, Steve.
Well, maybe it could be one of these things, you know, something to keep it close, Later on in the game, people get nervous, bit easier to make a mistake, and bang.
Perhaps.
Here are the Swiss. Possession down low, ball comes back to the point, but that one just goes over the stick of Mahmoud. And Bossard's going to take it for Switzerland. Italy on the attack now. Here's Sitachi. He turns and fires. That one misses down low, and Bossard goes and gives chase for the Swiss.
I think Sitachi thinks wherever he's got the ball, he's on pure offense.
If I had his skill and athleticism, I'd probably do the same. Behind the net, Stuckey gets dropped. Fans asked if we could get a penalty there, but the referee's doing a great job of this one. Emilio Ferlizzi reaches up for that ball. He can't get though, and we're going to have a penalty here. Looks like it's going to go to the Italians, and it's going to be Michael Virelli going off to the box.
Yeah, and that's a tough one because the player was running by him. Mike, who's a great leader for this team, you know, could have just turned back and backpedaled and maybe angled off. But when you reach like that, that's when the hand goes up. And this is a big power play for Switzerland. If they can pot another one, they'll be in a pretty strong position here.
So the Swiss very efficient with their last power play. Only took them 14 seconds. Gonna go to work once again. Here's Fuchs. Fuchs has got Mueller with him on the left side. Ball down for Mueller. Mueller sends it all the way across for Heinze. Heinze down low for Agerter. Agerter, big body there. Look, surprised the Swiss aren't looking to get that big boy in front of the net. Here's Mueller. Mueller puts it down low for Metros. Metros back for Mueller. Mueller's going to move it for Fuchs. Fuchs tries to drag the defender out of the way. Nice shot there from the one-time side, though, but a nice save by Gennardo.
One adjustment I see the Swiss have made on their power play is they're actually moving the ball down low today.
And I find, George, the big teams that have success here, they're the ones that attack from both ends. And I tell you, one team in particular that jumps to mind is the Slovaks. They'll attack low, then they'll move it high. Everybody moves the ball east-west. Everybody goes side to side, but the really good teams got the ability to change the point of attack from low to high.
Oh, that's very important.
Ball dumped in by the Swiss. Nice play by Johnny Gennardo to come out and drop down on that one. 48 seconds left to go in the power play. 4 minutes, 42 seconds left to go in this first period. Switzerland 2, Italy 1.
And what about the women's event? Looks like the Czechs and Canada are putting a little bit of a stranglehold there. They're pretty close almost to clinching a berth in the final, but
big game tomorrow, Canada and USA, George.
That is a big game. That is a big game.
From the draw, Switzerland doing well on faceoffs here. Here's Stierchi. Stierchi for Stuckey. You got to think they're trying to load up the big gun of 67 there after the last power play goal. But the Italian forwards do a much better job at getting in the shooting lanes. And Another penalty killing at this level. All it's about is getting in shooting lanes. Just best you can. Don't let that ball through. High shot off the glass. That one gets deflected, goes down all the way. And there'll be time for one last Swiss rush on this power play. Faina is the man to go back to get the ball. Faina gains the blue line. Gets it up to Stuckey. Faina winds, fires. That one goes over the top of the net. Crease violation call there. Good. That's a great call by the official. He bumps the goaltender. Not really goalie interference. He's going for the ball, but you know something in the crease. I like that call by the official, George.
Well, Steve, I'm sure the referees will enjoy you giving them some positive words.
Won't happen too often.
Especially now that you're a legend here in Europe.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that call. I think that's good game management. And the officials, to be honest, most of the week, I've heard some people complain about officiating, but I got to be honest, I think it's been very consistent.
Well, they've reffed 2 good games here, the ones I've watched.
Switzerland tries to stuff it down low. That's your little boy, Kierner. I shouldn't call him little boy. The young man, Kierner. He almost stuffs one in. Satachi now. And Satachi, once again, I mentioned it before, he's got 2 black sweaters on him now when he touches the ball. That's got to have been a coaching adjustment on the Swiss side.
I'm sure it is. And a smart one at that.
Kierner knocks that ball out of midair. Can't quite get to it. Bossard moves the ball up for Kierner. Here come the Italians in the neutral zone. It's Perugini. Perugini looking for Satachi. That ball's knocked away from him right away. Once again, Satachi has the ball right away. A black sweater's on him. Missed pass there, and that's going to go all the way down for flooring. 3 minutes, 2 seconds left to go in this second period.
You know,
Switzerland, Italy in a 1-goal game, 2-1.
Steve, the Italians haven't generated much offense at all this period. Even their big line is being stifled a little bit. So that can't go on forever. There's only 19 minutes left in this game, and they need a goal. By the way, you think Bob Cole was ever called a legend in Europe?
Will you knock it off? Isn't the band playing or something outside? Play continues. Here's a shot deflected in low. Here's Heinze. Heinze on the wraparound. He had Donato looking the other way. Nice play there by the Italian defenseman, Michael Varelli, to stop that one. Italy chips the ball out into the neutral zone. Great effort there by the Swiss defenseman, Biersdorfer. Tried to keep it onside. Ball just got out. Team Italy now, and you're right, George, not mounting much of an offense. I got to believe in the next period, the Team Italy's work ethics, that's what's got to come up. They've got to start really making the Swiss, gee, my new tongue is failing me here. The Swiss work harder and maybe draw a penalty. A power play could be just what the doctor ordered for the Italians. Down low, Vitali for Italy. Vitali shot, ball bounces in the crease. Here's a chance for the Italians. Rebound, Bud Mellinger. Real good positioning by the big Swiss goaltender there. Right at the top of the crease, drops down and covers up.
That's the first bit of possession the Italians have had this period, and they just haven't had much of the ball. The Swiss have played a great period so far.
So, face-off will be to the left of Mellinger. From the draw, Switzerland come right through the face-off circle, and they go on the attack right away. Here's Biersdorfer. Drop pass. Shot right on by Donato. Donato does a good job to hold on to that one. Sterchi puts it through. Rebound attempt. Switzerland with some great scoring opportunities here as Schneidkelt had a couple of whacks at that rebound. Ball comes up along the wall, out into the neutral zone. Kept in momentarily by the Swiss. Now here's Schneidkelt. Schneidkelt moves the ball for Sterchi. Sterchi turns that one over. Back behind Sterchi. Don't see. Nice little move by Sterchi. Wind, fires, rebound. Schneidkelt on the side. He couldn't put it there. Great defensive play there by the Italian defenseman to keep him off the board. Donato swallows that one up whole.
It's not by surprise that this is happening. The Swiss are on every ball, first to the ball. They're out hustling the Italians right now. and it's like a tilted floor. The Swiss are coming hard, but the Italians are holding on here, and if Switzerland can get another goal here, it'll certainly make them and this big crowd feel a lot better going into third period.
Absolutely. Team Italy got to be looking, just want to get out of this period unscathed. Here's a long shot from the point. That one misses wide. Switzerland take control again as Metros. Metros down low for Mueller. Mueller now on the half boards. Mueller back to the point. Bassard calling for the shot. He doesn't get it. Ball bounces out in front. Nice quick stick there by the goaltender, Donardo. Mellinger. Metros, he's in the high slot with his stick cocked in the air. Bassard keeps it in. Bassard spins away from one check. Puts it down low, and Italy will have a chance to clear. And here's Sitachi. Sitachi comes up to the blue line. Sitachi chips it by. Good run there by the Italian forward, but great defensive play by number 21, Tim Mueller of Switzerland. Here come the Italians. Sitachi in all alone. Sitachi, oh my goodness, Sitachi threw it back for Perangini. And Georgia, you're going to have to comment on that one. What was going through the mind of young Sitachi there?
Well, that was an offensive mind at work, and maybe he saw something that wasn't there, but
he was on his backhand. I'll give him that.
He was on his backhand, so he was looking for to switch the play there, and while everybody was moving with him.
I will give the Italian coach credit there, though. He got that line out. Switzerland had a pair of little-used defensemen on the floor there, and they're on against the Italians' top line. I don't care how slanted the floor is. You got to keep coaching. You got to keep looking for that matchup, especially when, let's call a spade a spade, Italy looks to have one big line to watch out for. You got to make sure your guys are on against them. That's going to do it for the second period. Switzerland 2 and Italy 1. You're watching coverage of the 2015 ISBHF World Ball Hockey Championships. We'll be back for the call to third. Back for the third period. Team Switzerland 2, Italy 1. How long was that intermission, George? It didn't seem as long as the first one.
No, not at all, Steve. They came out here. They know what they're playing for here.
I mean, the intermission break didn't seem as long.
Well, they didn't do that, fan fest thing where they shoot for the
home team controversy. Swiss want the Italians not to have as much of a break. Can't get you to bite, can I? I'm only kidding, folks. No. I'm just joking. Here we go. Ball's down low. Back to the point. Drive by Switzerland. Deflected high. Doesn't go out of play, though. And play continues. 2-1. Swiss and Italy. As much as the Swiss outplayed Italy that period, it's still just 2-1. I'm telling you, I like this score for Italy the longer it stays 2-1. I think if they can tie this up and get close, I think the pressure really goes hard on the Swiss team. They're supposed to win. They've got all the fans here. Tell you what, if I'm that Italian coach, I don't mind where I'm 2 right now, George.
Well, and the fans saw the Swiss lose a 4-1 lead yesterday, so they're kind of biting their nails right now, too.
And as that game goes on, if it gets tied up or what, you can be sure that that's going to be in the minds of many people in this building tonight.
We just got a shot of the Swiss bench. Those coaches look like they got a few years of stress on them right there.
Well, I'm not fat and gray for nothing myself. From the draw. Italy take possession off the face-off. Fiacconi. Fiacconi's got a long run there. He's going to put the ball down deep. Nice ball there. Going to come all the way down to Mellinger. Stuckey. Sorry, that was Heinen. Clears it out for the Swiss. Fiacconi keeps it in. Here's a chance. Oh, too bad the Italians couldn't hold on to that one. Ball's chipped by the Italian defenseman. Goes all the way down the floor. No flooring on the play. Here come the Swiss. Ball's kicked down low. Sterchi. Sterchi behind the net. That one's high and wide. And the Italians get a chance to clear.
Sturcey's been dangerous today,
Had a
Steve.
good game, yeah, absolutely. Long pass into the neutral zone. And DiNardo's gonna drop down on that one. The aforementioned Sturcey almost sending Stuckey in all alone there. 2:24 into the third. 2-1 Italy, or 2-1 Switzerland, wow.
Well, the Swiss they gotta put this one away. They want this one. They gotta win it in a positive fashion, and hopefully bring the home fans to watch them play USA. And Italy's just hanging around, and when you let teams hang around, sometimes things you don't want to happen do happen.
So here's the Italians, long shot on there. Nothing wrong with them trying a few of those long ones either.
No.
Italy, down low. Here's Scarito. Scarito. 2 Italians out front. Defenseman comes in as well. Whoa! And there's going to be a penalty call here. I was wondering if the officials would catch that one. And sure enough, the Italians, that might be the 3rd Italian penalty in a row, but you know something? That one was obvious. Scarito reached out and pulled down his man.
It was, but you know, I'm fortunate for Scarito because he really had a nice offensive movement there, and you know, it's just one of those ones where the stick gets caught in the shoes. I see they're sending out Satachi to kill the penalty. Interesting, and you know, 12 minutes left here. This is a big power play for.
I have no problem with him killing that penalty, George.
No, neither do I.
Because he can be very dangerous, as we might find out now. Although he just took a good crack to the hand.
And
it's going to be a penalty.
That'll even things up.
These guys with those little gloves, I mean, my goodness. I know as a goal scorer, yeah, that's a nice feel for the ball and all that. But listen, I'm not the most sportsmanlike player in the world when I played, but you wouldn't be handling that ball with those little gloves with me on you.
Well, playing against the old Best Western Travelers, that would have been a love tap.
Yeah, Bobby Bishop would love to see a guy with a pair of gloves like that come on the floor, I can tell you that.
Believe me, Bobby Bishop took about 150 hacks on my ankles.
Yep.
I don't want to say what I did.
It's only a penalty if you get caught.
Yeah, I know.
3:07, 4-on-4 now. And we got to think this 4-on-4 action, as our friend, the Geronimo, told us the Swiss play 4-on-4 over here, so we got to think that might be an advantage to the Swiss.
You've noticed that they play a little bit better with this 4-on-4 realm, so let's see what happens here.
We got an interesting development going here. That looks like Nicola Fuchs. No, it's not Fuchs. The Swiss player goes to the bench.
It's a young player with a face mask.
Yeah, goes to the bench. He's in some distress. Let's hope he's okay. Here's Satachi. Satachi, oh, ball almost jumped over the stick of Sturcey there. Satachi almost got a break on the goal. Italy retreating. Here's Varelli. Varelli's going to wait for his mates to change. Moves the ball over for Fiacciconi. Fiacciconi up for Tomasiccio. Tomasiccio turns that one over. Here comes Heinen. Heinen's upended there, and there's going to be a penalty as Heinen had a step around the defenseman, and Adriano Fiacciconi going to the box for the trip. And now we've got lots of open floor here. 4-on-3 for 52 seconds.
And you would think that the Swiss in their league play a lot of 4-on-3, so maybe that's going to come natural to them right here.
Definitely. You got to think that's an advantage. Us North Americans, tell you what, when I coached, we barely ever practice 4-on-3. And you don't see it very often. So, opportunity here for Switzerland. Face-off is going to be to the right of DiNardo. And it's fine to be down by 1, but if you're down by 2, that certainly makes it a longer road to hoe for sure. From the face-off, the Italians win the draw, backhanded high off the glass. Cannot get it out though. Faina down low. Looks like that's Stuckey. Here's Stuckey on the point for Faina. Faina and Stuckey. Faina's got to be the shooter there. They got Stuckey on the wrong side. Now they're working to Stuckey for the shot. And there it is. All they wanted to do was set Stuckey up for the one-timer, and for the second time this game, right from the top at the blue line. Yves Stuckey on the power play has struck for the Swiss.
And you know, I'm going to say it, but Vienna looked like he was back in his old comfy chair there. And you know, the whole group looked so much better there on the 4-on-3. What a rocket by Stuckey. That's two he's blown by DiNardo tonight.
Second time this game, Stuckey in his wheelhouse. And real tough, George, 4-on-3, real tough to get out in those shooting lanes and block that shot. And that's all the Swiss late needed right there. DiNardo, no chance on that.
Well, now, let's see with about 10.5 minutes left if the Swiss can hold this lead and win the right to play USA. And what the Italians are going to do to try and score a couple goals here.
Still lots of time, George, and they're going to have a power play coming up now. The next 15 seconds, they're going to get a minute on the power play. Might want to be a little more aggressive here now. Nicola Fuchs will just stand up behind the net and run the clock out. Funny, the fans aren't whistling now.
No.
Here's Fuchs. Fuchs. And now the Swiss are short-handed. Sorry, no, Swiss on the power play. I'm sorry, folks. Now a sense of urgency to Fuchs. He's going to try to move it up. Swiss with a real opportunity to dig the knife in deep as Nicola Fuchs moves up the floor. I wonder, are they going to try to set Stuckey up again? We see Fuchs up top with Stuckey. Ball moved down low for Metros to Fuchs. Stuckey, once again, they're going to have to put it to the other side to get Stuckey set. There it is! Shot, shoot, scores! Stuckey's shot didn't get through the net, but I believe it was Metros in front. And this Swiss power play is like butter in an oven. It's hot.
Big goal for the Swiss to make it 4-1. And you know what? Stuckey has been a key player today. This being his best game of the tournament, Steve. In the back of Switzerland's mind, Steve, do you think they're thinking about where they were yesterday at all?
Not against this team, George, and that's not to be offensive to the Italians, but outside of Satachi and them, I haven't seen much in the way of offense at all. The Greeks yesterday had a few lines can hurt you. I just think the Swiss have got to be very careful with these gentlemen on the floor wearing white sweaters right now. Satachi, Perandini, and Fiori. If they can shut these guys down and even half shut them down, I think the Swiss are going to be okay this day. And frankly, I don't see Big Mellinger having another nap this afternoon like he did yesterday.
Well, he's got to respond with, you know, be a closer right now and shut this store down so that they can be in the final 8.
Stolly moves the ball up the wall. Good back check there by young number 17, Kerner. Kerner, I think he's played a great game here for the Swiss today.
Sure has.
Satachi, Kerner's all over him. Whoa, Kerner gets driven into the boards there. Italy playing with fire. They do not want to go on the power, give the Swiss another power play here. Conte, Daniel Conte turns it over. Here's a chance for the Swiss coming out front. And Roethlisberger probably wishes he had a shot there. But DiNardo came across, shut the door. 6:26 into the third period. Switzerland lead 4-1.
What about the work by little Keener there? He was...
wondering where he's been all week.
Well, we haven't seen him in the lineup, not that I can recall, and he's really been a big plus.
So you talk about when a player gets injured, someone got to step up and make the most of an opportunity, and he's certainly done that.
Steve, all players bring happiness, some by coming in, some by going out.
Never thought of it that way. That's pretty good. Swiss on the draw. They lose the ball. Italy now with a chance to come away. Italy just chips the ball into the neutral zone. Ball goes out of play.
And isn't it interesting, if this result does hold, Steve, that the 8 teams left are 8 teams that were in the A pool?
That's not really surprising, though, George. I don't think. I mean, I know you and I talked earlier. We did our little thing where we trade barbs and who we think will win, and I'm pretty sure you did pick the Finns.
I did.
Yeah, you picked the Finns. I did pick India. But I mean, hey, you come down to overtime and
Well, we knew it was going to be
7
close.
shooters, so
We
no
did say it was going to be a close game.
Italy going to be going to the penalty box once again, and they got to be careful. They might get another penalty here. Fuchs runs away from his man. A few shots there. So Switzerland, delayed penalty coming up against Italy. Switzerland contentious to run some clock out here.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
But I tell you what, Fuchs might want to get away from his own empty net. You never know. Ball gets wrapped around. Fuchs up for Stuckey. Stuckey tries to spin off his man. Stuckey does. Here's Stuckey in the neutral zone. Finds Heinze. Heinze. Swiss doing a great job here in this delayed penalty. Not only killing time, but going to set up an offensive chance here. Ball lobbed in behind the net. Out front, shot right on. DiNardo with a nice save there. And ball kept alive by the Swiss. Heinze down low, and these Swiss fans really appreciative of this effort. There's another shot and a save by DiNardo. Ball finally out of play, and listen to these Swiss fans cheering on Team Switzerland.
You know, the last two periods, the Swiss have been on the ball like demons and really being first to the ball. And this result is really not a surprise with the effort that they've put down. The Swiss fans got to be thrilled with this.
And I tell you what, we talked a little week. Switzerland may not be as deep as the other countries, but I don't care where you are. I don't want to play a team that's getting some momentum and has got anywhere between 3 and maybe upwards of 7,000 people behind them in the building. Are you kidding me?
Well, Steve, take away that 3-goal meltdown. The last 2 nights, they've been up 8-2 against some pretty good ball hockey teams.
Yep. So, Team USA, I'm sure here watching this one, and as much as the Americans have been very, very strong, they better not take the Swiss for granted. I know this game's not over, folks, not counting the Italians out yet, but they're going to have that, number 1, stay out of the penalty box, and number 2, find a way to mount a serious offensive charge. On the power play here, here's a shot by Heinze. That one rattles wide. Here's my question to you, George Gortzos. Where's Stuckey?
Well, maybe he's logged a lot of floor time, and it's been his best game. Right up to now, he's been the first star for me today.
Fuchs, great pass there to gain the zone for Metros. Fuchs, back for Boussard. Boussard, there's a shot right on. Chance for Italy to clear, and they do so. Big Boussard, number 8, doesn't get a lot of floor time. They do like to use him on the power play, and I guess I just saw why. He does have a pretty good shot.
You know, and the Swiss have thrown a lot of plastic at Johnny DiNardo. I'm hard-pressed to think the Italians have more than 10 shots this game.
And 8 of them might have been in the first period. Long shot on that. Here's Sterci. Sterci back for Mellinger. And there's our boy Stuckey. Once again, sets up on that side. I think they want to work it to him. And why not? It's working.
Well, the Swiss have finally made the adjustment of moving the ball down, and it's opened a whole bunch of a new world for them.
Emil Ferlizzi gives chase for Italy. Nice play there by Ferlizzi to cause some chaos, and away come the Italians. They get the ball out. Mellinger steals, puts the ball down for Agerter. Switzerland upended at the blue line. Fans wanted a penalty call there, nothing doing. And the play continues. Penalty just about to expire now. Italian player out of the box. Team Italy back to full strength. Cardinale gives chase. And here's a whistle. We got a little discussion going on here between Stuckey and Fiacconi. Stuckey's going to go to the penalty box. Not too happy about that.
I think it's number 97, Steve, not Stuckey.
Oh, it wasn't? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Patrick Dobley goes to the box.
Yeah, I actually saw number 59 come on the floor, too. I hadn't seen him for the Swiss, so...
Stahli's played a little.
Oh, has he?
Yeah,
okay.
I've called Stahli, but Dobley, though, very, very rare. He's played a little in yesterday's game. But you know something, that at this level, you've got 22 men on your roster. There are going to be guys that they're going to play less.
Is this the biggest power play of Italy's week?
I don't think it matters, George.
I think they still got a shot. They got to try and score here.
Yeah, they certainly do. But I got to be honest with you, I just not seeing it from the Italians.
Well, you got to watch.
One line is hard.
You got to watch number 13. He's got a hell of a shot.
Back to the point for Relly. That shot gets deflected wide. And I will say with 100% certainty here, George, and not going out on a big limb, the Italians don't score on this power play. You can stick a fork in them. They're done.
Are you doing the Tiger Williams already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That ain't coming for me.
I mean, already. It was just 4 minutes and 22 seconds left.
Yeah,
You're down by 3. You've got about 10 shots on net in the game.
Didn't Tiger say it ain't over till somebody sings?
That was Yogi Berra, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I can't sing. I can shout real loud, and I can't even do that right now. Italy, big power play opportunity here. And there's the man they want with the ball on his stick, Satachi. Satachi setting up top. Pretty good place to have him, actually.
He's a hell of a good ball handler. Can I say help?
Yeah, I've said it many times. Varelli, back for Satachi. Satachi now switches to the right side. Satachi's like a traffic cop up there. He's just directing traffic all over the place for the Italians. Tomasiccio in the slot. Oh, hard luck there as Perangini had a nice pass from Tomasiccio, just couldn't handle it. And the ball gets cleared down the floor by the Swiss.
I tell you, Fiore showed some great ball handling down there to snake a Swiss defenseman like a top.
All right, so 30 seconds left in this power play. Italy trying to figure out how to gain the blue line right now. They knife it in. Mueller goes back. Little bump there by Metros on the board. Stuckey going to wind, fire it around, but it's going to get kept in at the line by Conte. Here's Conte up top. Conte moves it down the other side for
That's
Cardinale.
good work by Bassard there.
Big Bassard comes in. He creates a 2-on-1. Bassard over for Metros. Metros shot right down. Bassard the rebound. Couldn't get it. And good battle down low there. Both teams now at even strength. And the Swiss get the best scoring chance of that power play while shorthanded. Fans giving Bassard a big hand as he come off the floor. 2.5 minutes left. Here's Metros. Shot. DiNardo save. Second save. John DiNardo. Can't say enough about his effort here tonight.
He's really played a solid game, and the Swiss are really coming to the forefront here, and the Italians have been met by a buzzsaw the last 2 periods, and they are coming strong. If this holds on, there'll be some great matchups, but the Italians can hold their head up high. And let's see them finish strong here in the last 2 minutes and 19 seconds.
So Team Switzerland looking to have a 2-win night here at the World Championships. Men in control here right now, and the Swiss ladies, George, celebrating their first win of the tournament over at the other rink.
Wow, that's fantastic. They beat Team UK, did they, Steve?
They did. Just checking in with my buddy George Scott from the other rink. You talk about a legend, George Scott. Back in my home province of Newfoundland, Labrador in Canada, George calls a lot of hockey games for our senior hockey league back home. And George is a real pro. What
a plus it's been to have both of you here. I'm sure George has got a following in Europe or wherever it is they're tuning in. He's a real pro.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know, if I was the Swiss here, I'd take this ball, run it all the way back to my end.
Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about a shot here.
Just kill the clock.
2 reasons. One, the biggest reason, I just wouldn't want to expend much energy. Here's energy. Satachi going to get a shorthanded breakaway. And boy, how good did Mellinger look there. That's a different goal than we saw 24 hours ago. Satachi draws a penalty, actually. This guy's done it all for Italy. Satachi and DiNardo have been the story for the Italians for sure. But I really, really like the poise there of Mellinger.
Satachi has a little bit of, style out there, and he's really had a great game. What a thrill for a young player like him to be playing in front of an ever-growing crowd still.
Well, you got the people watching the Swiss ladies team in the other rink filing in there now.
Right. So all the Swiss fans that were in the other rink are now here.
Big night for the Swiss, and the band is probably finished outside, George. I appreciate you sticking around with me, though.
No
but
problem.
I tell you what, the taps will be flowing out in front tonight.
Oh, they sure will be. What about that picture I see there with George Scott, with Big George Larocque, who's here with Team Haiti?
George tweets on the picture, it must be the angle because Larocque looks bigger than me. George Larocque, he's been a bit of a celebrity here all week.
Speaking of Haiti, have you seen those guys not be in the rink at all this week?
All the time. Wearing their jerseys, signing autographs for kids. They're like rock stars going around here.
I wouldn't know about that, Steve, but,
They are. They really are there, and they smiles on their faces the whole time. I mean, I know the one game I called for Haiti, I had a lot of people checking in on Twitter and cheering them on, and people appreciating the fact that they're here, so that's great. Natalie Meyer checks in with us, cheering on her brother Matthias Biersdorfer. And both Natalie and Matthias pretty happy here tonight with how this one is going. Team Switzerland a minute and a half away, punching their ticket to the quarterfinals. And it should be noted too, George, Switzerland, they were pretty close to not having to play this game today too.
You're right.
So hopefully health-wise there's no issues, although we are aware young Mears didn't play tonight. You never know, you might see him tomorrow.
Well, they can't wait till another game. They need a win. And it's all about getting 3 wins now. The standings you can throw right out into the garbage because they don't mean anything anymore.
Absolutely.
And it's playoff hockey. This place will be jumping when the Swiss play the USA, that's for sure.
Yep. The U.S., they've been rolling pretty good this week, and that's something they're going to have to deal with. It is a different. I talked to some of the Canadian guys, and I know the Canadian guys handled the Swiss pretty well in the round robin, but coming out of North America in ball hockey, to be honest, and I'm being biased, the only place I've seen a real crowd is in Newfoundland.
Right.
It's pretty daunting to come out and walk in and look up at 7,000 people waving flags and beating drums. And
well, the U.S. are very well coached by Corey Hirsch, but the Swiss have played 2 big games the last 2 days, and USA had a day off today, and
yesterday.
And yesterday, so you wonder, right? But I'm sure the Americans who have been nothing but consistent will be ready for that game.
Referees asking both benches to keep their composure now, and a little too much chatter going on. Referees want to keep this in control, and fans just getting things going here, trying to get the wave going into your rink. Have you ever seen the wave at a ball hockey game, George?
Yes, I have.
Yeah? You got to tell me where.
In Switzerland, 2003.
Oh, okay, well, there you go. Of course. Little slash at the goaltender there. That's going to draw a whistle. And the Italians, they're proud. They're not going down without a fight.
Well, that goes back to the old days where we used to have street against street. Sometimes things would get out of hand a little bit. Especially when the Italian street would play the Newfoundland street, Steve. You know what, the refs, we got to say a word for the refs. They've been doing a bang-up job, and keeping the lid on this thing. There's a lot of emotion there.
No, I'll give them credit too, absolutely, for sure. So we're only a minute and 5 away, and we've got a full clock now. Penalty box starting to fill up, and the Hop Svich chant starts in the crowd. I absolutely love that. Great. And the Swiss fans, to their credit, yes, their team's winning 4-1. They could be losing 8-1 here now, and they'd do the same thing.
They would. I can see those beer cups are pretty full, though, Steve.
Yep.
It's going to be a merry party outside.
Absolutely.
No 80s band today, though.
No 80s band today. That's why you're still here.
However, I did hear there's 8,000 seats or tickets sold for the hip-hop band coming in tomorrow.
Hip-hop band, yeah, well, it's one of the times I guess I'll be glad I'm in here. I'm fat and I'm over 40, so I ain't too interested in that stuff. The 80s band was a challenge. I almost ended up on the stage with those guys.
Listen to that crowd,
Absolutely.
Steve.
Listen in. Let's let the crowd take you home, folks, for the next minute and 5 seconds. Referee is just waiting for the clock to have the right times on it. You got some miscommunication there in the scores box. Brings me back to the game last night between Canada and the Czech Republic. Took about 10 minutes to call a penalty.
Well, it just gave me a chance to look at the curve on the center of the Swiss stick. That is some.
Yeah, that's a nice hook there.
Bobby Hull would have liked that one, Steve. And you know, the Italians are still trying to play like they got a shot. You gotta have grudging respect for that. They got the goalie pulled, and they're trying to move forward here. I don't know what the holdup here is, Steve. Do you know what it is?
It's just putting time on the clock. It's been happening like that all week, George.
Oh, I see.
It's one of those things at a World Championship. We saw it back in St. John's in 2013. The referees speak one language, timekeepers speak another. You know, sometimes getting the right information back and forth is a challenge. So, Italy with the goaltender pulled. Sitachi, all on his stick, gonna put it back to the point. Italians move the ball around. That one having a hard time picking up by Fiore. Fiore moves it to the other side of the floor, gets caught up by the official. Back for Fiore now. Here's Fiore for Sitachi. Sitachi out top for Conte. Conte takes a shot. That one's blocked. Last 30 seconds of this hockey game. Tomasiccio back for Conte. Conte shot through, looking for Tomasiccio. Doesn't get a stick on that one. Ball comes all the way out. Nice job there by Conte to keep that one in. Conte fires. That doesn't get through. Sterchi, he's going to fire it all the way around, and that's going to go down the other floor, and that's going to do it. And let's listen to these fans take it home. Final score, Switzerland 4, Italy 1. Team Switzerland punches their ticket to a quarterfinal date with the United States of America. A-pool quarterfinals happening tomorrow. For George Gortzos, I'm Steve Power. Good night from the 2015 ISBHF World Ball Hockey Championships.
Die Brauerei Bar präsentiert die besten Spieler beider Teams. The Brewery Bar presents the best players of each team. Bester Spieler von Italien, best player of Italy, number 91, Daniel Settacci. Best player of Switzerland, bester Spieler der Schweiz, die Nummer 67, Yves Stucki. Sehr verehrte Damen und Herren, erheben Sie sich bitte für die Nationalhymne der Schweiz. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Switzerland. Sehr verehrte Damen und Herren, herzlichen Dank für Ihren Besuch heute Abend und kommen Sie gut nach Hause. Wir hoffen, dass wir Sie an einem oder an allen den Spielen vom morgigen Tag auch wieder hier begrüßen dürfen. Gute Heimreise und gute Nacht. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attending this game tonight. We hope we will see you soon again on one of the next games here in Zug, and we wish you a safe trip home and a good night.